Hello friends and my dear students, I welcome you all to my channel. I hope you are all well and your studies are going on well. This video is part of the playlist CBSE Mathematics Class 7 following the textbook of author RS Aggarwal. This is part 5 of the series of videos on the chapter Ratio and Proportion. In this video, I will solve the test paper 8, which is given at the end of the chapter Ratio and Proportion in the textbook of author RS Aggarwal. So this will be a good test. The problems in this test paper will be a good set of problems for testing your understanding of the concepts on the chapter Ratio and Proportion. If you have not watched my previous 4 parts on the chapter Ratio and Proportion, I highly suggest that you watch them first to get a good understanding of the concepts on this chapter, Ratio and Proportion, and then you can continue watching this video. And first you try to solve all the problems yourself, and if you are stuck, then only see the solution of this from this video. So let's get started with this video. Okay, so as usual I have the test paper on the left hand side, and on the right hand side I will solve the problems. So this test paper 8 has 18 questions, even though some questions have multiple subparts. More or less you should be able to, if you consider this test paper as a test, then you should be able to complete this test in 45 minutes, roughly, not 45 minutes, 1 hour, roughly 3 minutes per question. So I am not sure whether how long I will take to solve the problems, because I have to discuss the concepts if required. So it might take a longer time for me. Let's see. So let's start solving the problems. Okay. So section A. First problem. It is asking to compare the ratio 4:5 and the ratio 7:9. So we know that we compare two ratios just as we compare two fractions. So first we will convert the two ratios into fractions. We know that 4:5 is nothing but 4/5. Similarly, the ratio 7:9 is the fraction 7/9. Now we have to compare the fractions 4/5 and 7/9. We see the denominators are different, 5 and 9, so we have to convert them to equivalent fraction so that the denominator is same, which will be, we will convert them having the same denominator, and the same denominator will be the LCM of 5 and 9, which is 45. So then the equivalent fractions become 4/5. If we have to make the denominator 5, denominator 45, we have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 9. So this becomes 36/45. Similarly, the fraction 7/9, if we have to make the denominator 45, it will become 35/45. And now we see the denominator is same in both the fractions. Now we will compare them based on the numerator. So clearly 36 is greater than 35. So this fraction 36/45 is greater than 35/45. This means the fraction 4/5 is greater than, the ratio 4:5 is greater than the ratio 7:9. So while I am solving the problems, you can pause the video and take screenshot for your future reference. Okay, let's solve question number 2. It says divide rupees 1100 among A, B, and C in the ratio 2:3:5. Okay, so I have already discussed this kind of, or how to solve this pattern of question in the theory. I think it was part 1 while discussing ratio. So if just as a side note, I will discuss again what is the theory of the formula. If you are asked to divide a quantity, let's say A, into 3 parts, such that those 3 parts are in the ratio, let's say into 3 parts, you have to divide the quantity A into 3 parts, so that those 3 parts are in the ratio x is to y is to z. Then the first part, the first part from A it will be x by x plus y plus z into A, where A is the total quantity. Similarly, second part will be y by x plus y plus z into A, and third part will be z by x plus y plus z whole multiplied by A. A is the total quantity. So in this problem, this was just a theoretical concept or the formula that we will use for solving this problem. So we see that if you relate the concept that I discussed on the right hand side, over here we have to divide. A is nothing but rupees 1100, and sorry, not A, we cannot say A because the three parts given is ABC. So let's say the total quantity Q is rupees 1100, and the three parts ABC, their ratio is given as 2:3:5. Now we consider that ABC are the three parts, or ABC are ABC are the three parts which gets divided from the rupees 1100. So A is nothing but 2 by 2 plus 3 plus 5 into the total quantity Q, which is equals to 2 by 10. 2 plus 3 plus 5 is 10. 2 by 10 into rupees 1100. This is 1/5 of rupees 1100. This is rupees 1100 by 5. Now if we do the cancellation, if you simplify it further, reduce it to the simplest form, we get 2 and 2 and 0. So this is rupees 220. So A is equals to rupees 220. Similarly, B will be equals to 3 by 2 plus 3 plus 5 of all multiplied by rupees 1100. This is equals 3 by 10 multiplied by rupees 1100. This is, if you do simplify it further, this is rupees 330. So A is rupees 220, B is rupees 330. Now to find C, one way you can subtract A plus B from the total amount 1100, or you can C, you can say C will definitely be the remaining amount, that is rupees 1100 minus rupees 220 minus rupees 330. This is rupees 1100 minus rupees 550. This equals rupees how much? 0 5 5. So 550. Okay. So ABC, A will be rupees 220, B is rupees 330, and C is rupees 550. Okay. So this was the concept that I have written on the right hand side for dividing a quantity A into three parts, which are in the ratio x is to y is to z. So the first part will be, that is the part the part whose ratio, the term, corresponding term in the ratio is x, will be x by x plus y plus z into A. Similarly, for the second part will be y by x plus y plus z into A, and third part will be z by x plus y plus z into A, where A is the total quantity. Okay, let's do problem number 3. show that the numbers 25, 36, 5 and 6 are not in proportion. Okay. So let's say they are in proportion. If they are in proportion, which means if 25 is to 36 is equal to 5 is to 6, this implies that 25 is to 36 will be equal to 5 is to 6. This implies that 25 by 36 will be equal to 5 by 6, and we can clearly see this is a false statement, as false as 25 by 36 is not equal to 5 by 6. Hence this implies 25, 36, 5, 6 are not in proportion. Now if the four numbers or quantities are in proportion, we have the symbol double colon, but there is no as such symbol to represent the fact that four quantities are not in proportion. Okay. So we prove that these four quantities are not in proportion by showing that the ratio of the first two terms is not equal to the ratio of the last two terms. Okay. Let's do question number 4. It says that if x, 18, 108 are in continued proportion, find the value of x. So it is given that x, 18 and 108 are in continued proportion, which means that x is to 18 is equal to 18 is to 108. Here the middle term is 18, which is the mean proportional to x and 108. So we have this. Now this implies that x is to 18 equals 18 is to 108, and we also know that for in a continued proportion where a is to b is equal to b is to c, we implies that b square equals ac. So we can directly use this formula and say that b square is ac. B square in this problem is 18, because 18 is the mean proportional to x and 108. So b is in this example 18. So 18 square equals to a is x and c is 108. So x into 108. This implies x equals 18 square divided by 108. This is 18 into 18 divided by 108, and if you divide 108 by 9, we have 12 and 9 2, and we have 2 2 6 and 6 18 3. So this is 3. So x equals 3 is the answer. Okay. Let's do question number 5. Question number 5 says, if two numbers are in the ratio 5:7, if the sum of these numbers is 84, find the numbers. Okay. So usually the standard way is that if a ratio of two numbers is given and their sum is given, we assume that let the numbers, we use the ratio, we use the terms of the ratio to assume the two numbers. That is, let the numbers be, the ratio is given 4:3, no, sorry, 5:7. So we assume that let the numbers be 5x and 7x. Now we have to find the unknown quantity x from other given fact. Now it is given that the sum of the two numbers is 84. It is given. So this implies 5x plus 8x equals 84. This implies 12x equals 84. This implies x equals 84 divided by 12. This is 7, sorry. So x is 7. X is equals 7. Now, so the numbers are therefore the numbers are 5 into x, that is 5 into 7, and 7 x, 7 into m, 7 into 7, this is 35, 49. So the numbers are 35 and 49. Okay, so let's do question number 6. Question number 6. The ages of A and B are in the ratio 4:3. 8 years ago, their ages were in the ratio 10:7. Find their present ages. Okay, so we apply the same concept as we did the problem number 5 to solve this kind of problem. We assume let present ages of A and B are, the ratio is given as 4:3. So we assume the ages, present ages of A and B are 4x and 3x, since the ratio given is 4:3. Now it is the additional fact. Now from other facts we have to find the x, then only we can find the actual ages of present ages of A and B. So the additional fact given is that 8 years ago the ages were in the ratio 10:7. So 8 years ago, 8 years ago, age of A equals 4x minus 8 and age of B equals 3x minus 8. This implies the ratio 8 years ago, the ratio of the ages of A and B is given to be 10 is given to be 10:7 is given is the to be the ratio 10:7. So we can say that 4x minus 8 is to 3x minus 8 equals to 10:7. From here we can we know that 4x minus 8 divided by 3x minus 8 equals 10/7. Now we have to solve this linear equation in one variable using the cross products, and we get 7 into 4x minus 8 equals 10 into 3x minus 8. Now if we do the products and open the brackets on both sides, we get 28x minus 56 equals 30x minus 80. Now if we bring all the x terms to the left hand side and all the constant terms to the right hand side, we get 28x minus 30x equals minus 80 plus 56. This implies, if we simplify the terms on the left hand side and on the right hand side, we get minus 2x equals minus this will be 24. This implies x equals minus 24 divided by minus 2, that is 12. So x is 12. So present age of A equals 4x. This implies 4 into 12, x is 12, so 4 into 12, that is 48, and present age of B will be 3x. This is 3 into 12, that is 36. So present age of A is 48 and present age of B is 36. Okay, let's solve question number 7. It says if a car covers 54 km in an hour, how much distance will it cover in 40 minutes? Okay. Okay. So if a car covers 54 km in an hour, how much distance will it cover in 40 minutes? Since the car will always move with the same speed, so let's say it is the speed of the car is same. The speed of the car is will be same. So if the car moves, if the car covers 54 kilometer in 1 hour, and let's assume the car covers x kilometer in how many in 40 minutes. In 40 minutes, it is asking, the question is how much the car will cover in 40 minutes, where it is given that it covers 54 km in an hour. So we are assuming that the car covers in 40 minutes x kilometer. Now one thing you must note, that you must understand the concept of proportion to be applied in this problem. Since the car is moving with the same speed, so the proportion, since car is moving at same speed, this implies that speed means rate of distance covered per hour, So this will always be same. So this implies, if this has to be same, then we can apply the concept of proportion. This will imply that 54 is to x will be in proportion with 1 hour. 1 hour we can since it is asking how much the car will cover in, we have assumed that the car will cover x kilometer in 40 minutes, and the other fact is given that the car covers 54 km in 1 hour. We have to convert 1 hour into minutes. So we can say that 54 is to x will be equal to 1 hour, means 60 minutes is to 40. Since the car is moving with the same speed, the proportion of the distances 54 and x, and the proportion if so, we have assumed that x kilometer is the car will cover x kilometer in 40 minutes. So the ratio of 54 and x will be equal to 1 hour and is to 40 minutes. Now to have a ratio, the units of the quantity must be in same. So we must convert the 1 hour into minutes. So this fact must be true for the car to move with the same speed, and indeed the car is moving with the same speed. So we can say this. Now, or in other words, you can say this is the mathematical form that we can say from the given fact, and we can also say in verse that 54, x, 60 and 40 are in proportion since this is only because since the car is moving in same speed. So now if this is the case, then we can say that from the concept of proportion, 54 is to x will be equal to 60 is to 40. This implies 54 by x equals 60 by 40. This is now if you do cross product, we can equate the cross product and say that 60x equals 54 multiplied by 40, and this implies x equals 54 into 40 divided by 60. 0 cancels and 6 divides 54 with 9, so this is 36. So x equals to 36, and so the answer is the car will cover 36 kilometer in 40 minutes, where it was given that in 1 hour the car covers 54 kilometer. So we have applied the concept of proportion. Since the car is moving with the same speed, if we assume that the car covers x kilometer in 40 minutes, then 54 is to x has to be the same as 1 hour means 60 minutes. 60 minutes into is to 40 minutes. Okay, let's solve problem number 8. Find the third proportional to 8 and 12. Okay, it's asking to find the third proportional to 8 and 12. So so 8, 12 and the third proportional will be in continued proportion. So let the third proportional to 8 and 12 be x. This implies that 8 is to 12 will be equal to 12 is to x. Now this implies, using the formula, if a, b, c are in continued proportion, we know that b square will be equals to ac. So in this example we will have 12 square will be equals to 8x, or this implies x will be equals to 12 square divided by 8. This is 12 multiplied by 12 divided by 8. This is 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 6. This is 18. So the third proportional to 8 and 12 is 18. Okay. Let's solve question number 9. If 40 men can finish a piece of work in 60 days, in how many days will 75 men finish the work? This problem is same as problem number 7. So it has given the fact that 40 men finish a work in 60 days. See, 40 men does the work, they finish the work in 60 days, and it is asking in how many days will 75 men finish the same work. So if we assume, let's assume 75 men will finish the same work in X days. We are assuming that 75 men will do the same work, will finish the same work in X days. Now, since the rate, so basically when it says that 40 men finish a work in 60 days, so basically it says that it is giving the fact that how many days it takes for one man to finish, which is 60 by 40. That ratio it is giving. So that ratio will always be same. That ratio will always be same. So keeping that the ratio, the number of days in which one man finishes the job, that will that will always be same. So if that is same, then we must have 40. The ratio 40 is to 75 must be equal to 60 days is to X. So we are assuming that the 75 men will finish the same job in X days. So the ratio of 40 is to 75 should be same as 60 is to X, because the number of days it takes for a single man to finish the job is constant. That remains constant. That is the reason we can say that, based on that fact, we can say that 40 is to 75 should be equal to 60 is to X, where we have assumed that the X days, in X days 75 men will finish the same job. So from this we can say that 40 is to 75 equals 60 is to X. This implies 40 by 75 equals 60 by X, and we will do cross product to solve X. This implies 40X equals 60 into 75. This implies X equals 60 into 75 divided by 40. 0 0 cancels, and we have 2 2 2 3, and okay, so this is 15 and 22 by 2 days, 225 by 2 days. How many days? Let me see, why is it coming in fraction? 40 men can finish a piece of work in 60 days. Okay, and how many days will 75 men finish the same work? So we have assumed that 75 men will finish the same work in X days, which means that 40 is to 75 should be equal to 60 is to X days. So we have first 40 is to 75 equals 60 is to X. So we have 40 by 75 equals 60 by X, and we have 40X equals to 60 into 75, 6 equals, okay, looks fine. So this is now 225 by 2 days. Okay, so this should be the answer. I'm not simplifying 225 by 2 days into fractions, and I am keeping the answer in the form 225 by 2 days. Okay, so now why is it coming more? I mean, 40 men finish a work in 60 days, so definitely 75 men will finish the same work in less than 60 days. It should be less than 60 days. Mm, okay, so if more men works, then the time taken will be less. 40 men finish a work in 60 days. Uh, so actually, okay, so no, if we this assumption, this thing is wrong, because you see, if more men work, the definitely the number of days should be less. So if 40 men, it has the fact given is that in 60 days, if 40 men finish the work in 60 days, so definitely 75 men will finish the work in less than 60 days, and our answer came out to be 225 by 2, which is more than 60. So this assumption, this proportion that we have assumed is wrong. So the proportion will be something else. I think it should be, so the concept is that 40 men does a work in 60 days. Now one man will finish the work in 60 by 40 days. One man will finish the work in 40 men finish the work in 60 days. So one man will finish the work in 60 by 40 days. No. 40 men finish the work in 60 days. So one man will finish the work definitely more than 60 days. So it is the concept is that the ratio will be inverse. I mean, we should have 40 men does the work in 60 days. So one man will not do the work in 60 by 40 days. That is wrong. It will take more days. I think the ratio will be inverse. By that I mean not 40 is to 75 will be equal to 60 is to x, but I think somehow I'm not sure. It could be that 1 by 40 is to 1 by 75 should be in proportion to no, this is wrong definitely. This is wrong. The proportion that I have assumed is wrong. More men will definitely complete the same job in less amount of time. So we have to properly understand what ratio is working. So if 40 men does the work in 60 days, how much time will one man take? Uh, 60 days, same work, 60 days. 60 days. One man will not take 60 by 40 days. I think one man will take 60 multiplied by 40 days. If one man takes 16 to 40 days, 16 to 40 days to complete a job, one man, 40 men finish work in 60 days. If one man takes 16 to 40 days to complete a job, then 40 men will take I think so 40, if 40 men is taking 60 days, then one man will take 16 to 40 days. I will solve this problem a little later on. I'm stuck with the concept. What is the concept? I mean, what is the concept of ratio, and what will be the proportion that we need to consider to solving this problem. I'm not solving it right now. I will complete the rest of the problems, then I will come back to this problem again. So I'm leaving some gap. Okay. This is a little bit. This is a time and work problem based on time and work. The concept is very easy, but it is not. I'm not able to solve it right now. So I'm skipping it for the moment. Let's do question number 10, and this is section B. So far we were doing section A, problems from section A. Okay. Section B, problem number 10 says it is given that 2A equals 3B equals 4C. Then it has asked to find the ratio of A is to B is to C. We have to compute this. Okay, so this is an MCQ. We have to choose the correct choice. So if 2A equals to 3B equals to 4C, this implies that, so we know that 2A equals 3B. From here we can say that A by B equals 3 is to 2, 3 by 2. Okay, so this implies that A is to B is 3 is to 2. Also from the fact that 3B equals 4C, this implies that B by C equals 4 by 3. This implies B is to C equals 4 is to 3. Now we have to find A is to B is to C, and we have found A is to B and B is to C, and we see that the term B in both the ratios are not same. B in the first ratio, A is to B is 2, and B in the second ratio, that is B is to C, is 4. We have to somehow make the B terms in both the ratios same. So we will take the LCM of 2 and 4. So LCM of 2 and 4 is 4. So we have to convert the ratio A is to B so that the second term becomes 4, and we can do that by multiplying both the terms of the ratio A is to B by 2. So this is nothing but 6 is to 4 when after multiplying both the terms of the ratio by 2 with 2. And B is to C, we won't do anything because the term B is already 4. Now we can say that when A is to B equals to 6 is to 4 and B is to C equals to 4 is to 3, this implies that A is to B is to C equals 6 is to 4 is to 3. So this is the answer, and the choice will be D. So correct choice is D. Okay. Question number 11. Question number 11. If it is given that a by 2 equals b by 3 equals c by 4, then it has asked what is a is to b is to c. Now there are various methods to solve this problem, to find a is to b is to c when this kind of equations are given, that is relation between a, b, c and given. I am following a certain method. You can follow other methods, but whichever methods you feel is more comfortable to you, you understanding the method, you please follow it, because one way to solve this kind of problem is that when you are given something like a by 2 equals to b by 3 equals to c by 3, when you are given, so okay, so method 1, let me solve this problem in a different method, which could be the method given in the textbook. So we let that a by 2, since a by 2 equals to b by 3 equals to c by 4 is given, we let that this b equals to k. Now from this we can say that a equals 2k, b equals 3k and c equals 4k. So now definitely a, so now a is to b is so now a by b is 2k by 3k, this is 2 by 3. This implies a is to b equals 2 is to 3. Similarly, we will get b by c equals 3k by 4k, this is 3 by 4. This implies b is to c equals 3 is to 4, and from these two fact, a is to b is, we have found 2 is to 3 and b is to c is 3 is to 4, the b terms are matching. This implies that a is to b is to c equals 2 is to 3 is to 4. So the correct answer is choice A. A is the correct choice. Okay. Now another method, eventually the concept is you have to find a is to b and then b is to c, and in that, in this ratio a is to b and b is to c, if you see the b terms is same, then you can directly get a is to b is to c. But if you see that the b terms in a is to b, the b, the second term, and b is to c, the first term, are not same, then you have to find the LCM, just like we did for in the previous problems, that is problem number 10. So one way is that you assume all the equality, that is a by 2 equals to b by 3 equals to c by 4. You assume that all these values to be equals to k, and from that you find k a, b and c in terms of k, and then you find the ratio a by b and the ratio b by c, and from there you get a is to b and b is to c, and from there you proceed the standard steps to find a is to b is to c. Now I could have another method could be that from a by 2 equals to b by 3, from a by 2 equals to b by 3, I could have directly say that 3a, if I do cross product, this becomes 3a equals to b. This implies, from here I can say that a by b equals 2 by 3. So this way also I could have found A by B. Anyway, whichever methods you find is more convenient and easy for you, you follow that method. Okay. So the answer is choice A. Okay. Let's do problem number 12. It says if it is given that x is to y equals 3 is to 4, then find 7x plus 3y. Then you are asked to find the ratio of 7x plus 3y is to 7x minus 3y. Now the method I follow is that from x is to y is given to be 3 is to 4. So this implies x by y equals 3 by 4. This implies I will get find y x in terms of y, that is x equals 3 by 4 into y. Now the ratio of 7x plus 3y is to 7x minus 3y is the fraction 7x plus 3y divided by 7x minus 3y. Now here I will substitute x in terms of y and I will get 3 by 4 y plus 3y divided by 7 into 3 by 4 y minus 3y, and I can see that I can take 3y common from both the numerator and the denominator. If I take 3y common from both the numerator and the denominator, I get 3y into 7 by 4 plus 1 divided by 3y 7 by 4 minus 1. Now 3y cancels out. This is equals 7 by 4 plus 1 is 11 by 4 and 7 by 4 minus 1 is 3 by 4. 3 by 4, this is 11 by 3. So the ratio is 11 is to 3. So the choice is, the correct choice is C. Okay. Let's do question number 13. Question number 13, it says what least number must be subtracted from each term of the ratio 15 is to 19 to make the ratio 3 is to 5. So the ratio given is 15 is to 19. We have to subtract. Let's subtract x from both terms. So it becomes 15 minus x is to 19 minus x, and this ratio is given to be 3 is to 4. So this implies it is given that 15 after we subtract. So it is asking what least number must be subtracted from each term of the ratio 15 is to 19, and we are assuming that that number, let the number to be subtracted be x. So if we subtract x from both the terms of the ratio 15 is to 19, we get 15 minus x is to 19 minus x, and this ratio is given to be equal to 3 is to 4. 3 is to 4. So this implies that 15 minus x divided by 19 minus x equals 3 by 4. Now we have to solve this linear equation in one variable by doing cross products, and we get that 4 into 15 minus x equals 3 into 19 minus x, and this implies if we do the products and open the brackets on both sides, we get 60 minus 4x equals 57 minus 3x. Now if we bring all the x terms to the left hand side and all the constants to the right hand side, we get minus 4x plus 3x equals 57 minus 60. Now if we simplify both the terms on the left hand side and the right hand side, we get minus x equals minus 3. This implies x equals 3. So 3 has to be subtracted from both the terms, that is 15 and 19, to make the ratio 3:4. So and the choice will be A. Okay. Let's do problem number 14. If rupees 840 is divided between A and B in the ratio 4:3, then B share is, okay. So as we know that the concept that if A is divided, the quantity A is divided into two parts such that the ratio is x is to y, the ratio of the two parts is x is to y, then the first part equals x by x plus y into A, and second part, that is if quantity A is divided into two parts which are in the ratio x is to y, then the first part will be x by x plus y multiplied by A, and the second part will be y by x plus y multiplied by A. Using this concept, we say we know that if rupees 840 is being divided between A and B in the ratio 4:3, so B share, directly we can apply the formula and say that B share is the ratio is 4:3, so B share will be 3 by 4 plus 3 multiplied by the total amount that is to be divided, which is rupees 840. This is equals 3 by 7 to rupees 840, and 7 divides 840 with 120, so this is rupees 360. So the answer is choice B. Answer is choice B. Okay, let's do problem number 15. Problem number 15. Okay. The ages of A and B are in the ratio 5:2. So if the ages of if we consider so it is given that A, if we consider A as the age of A, so A is to B is given to be 5:2. After 5 years, the ages will be in the ratio 15:7. So after 5 years, the ratio will be A minus A plus 5 is to B plus for this solving this kind of problem, what we generally the ratio is given. So the ages of A and B are in the ratio 5:2. So A is to B equals to 5:2. So we assume that let the ages of A and B are 5x and 2x. That is, the present ages of A and B are 5x and 2x. We use the ratio 5:2, and we say that the ages of A and B are 5x and 2x. So after 5 years, age of A becomes 5x plus 5, age of B becomes 2x plus 5. And after 5 years, the ages of A and B, the ratio of ages A and B is given to be 15:7. So this implies 5x plus 5 is to 2x plus 5 is given to be equal to 15:7 is given to be 15:7. Now from this we know that this implies 5x plus 5 divided by 2x plus 5 equals 15/7. Now if we do cross product, we get 7 into 5x plus 5 equals 15 into 2x plus 5. Now if we do the products on both sides and open the brackets, we get 35x plus 35 equals 30x plus 75. Now if we bring all the x terms to the left hand side and all the constant terms to the right hand side, we get 35x minus 30x equals 75 minus 35, and if we further simplify both the LHS and RHS, we get 35 minus 30x, 35x minus 30x is 5x, and 75 minus 35 is 40. So this implies x equals 40/5, that is 8. It has asked the present age of A is. This implies present age of A will be 5x, that is 5 into 8 equals 40. So the correct choice is C. The correct choice is C. Okay. Let's do problem number 16. The boys and girls in a school are in the ratio 9:5. If the number of girls is 320, then the total strength of the school is. Okay. So now in this problem, so the ratio of boys is to girl, the ratio of boys is to girl is given to be 9:5. Now if you assume that the number of boys is 9x and number of girls is 5x, and then you use using some other fact you find x, ultimately the question is asking to find the total strength of the school. So you have to you will find x, and then you will find the total number of add the total number of boys. But since for this kind of problem the total number of girls is given 320, it will be easy or convenient to assume that let the total strength which is the problem is asking to find, let the total strength be S. From the formula we know that if a quantity A is divided into two parts with the ratio x is to y, then the first part becomes x plus y into total quantity, and the second part becomes y by x plus y into total quantity. So in this case we can say that if the total strength be S, that is S is the total number of boys and girls, then and the ratio between number of boys and girls is given to be 9:5, we can say that G will be 5 divided by 9 plus 5 into the total strength S. This is 5/14 into S, and this is given to be 320 because the total number of girls in the school is given to be 320. So we get 5/14 S equals to 320. This implies S equals 320 by 5/14. This equals 320 multiplied by 14 by 5. Now if you simplify this further, we have 64. So 64 multiplied by 14 is 896. This is equals to 896. So S is 896, and S is what? S is the total number of the total strength of the school, that is the number of boys and the girls. And in the problem we have been asked to find the total strength of the school. So 896 is the answer. So the choice is B. Okay. Section C, problem number 17. Fill in the blanks. Okay. It has 4 parts. It is saying that if A is to B is given, A is to B is given to be 2:3, okay, and B is to C is given as 4:5, then it is asking C is to A. C is to A we have to find. Now okay, so A is to B equals to 2:3. We know that. This means A by B equals 2 by 3, and B is to C equals to 4:5, means B by C equals 4 by 5. Now if we multiply these two facts from these two, we get that A by B multiplied by B by C will be equals to 2 by 3 multiplied by 4 by 5. The left hand side B cancels out, and we get A by C equals 8 by 15. 8 by 15. So this implies if we have to find C is to A, we have found A by C. This implies if A by C equals to 8 by 15, then definitely the reciprocal of A by C, that is C by A, will be equal to the reciprocal of 8 by 15, that is 15 by 8. So this implies that C is to A equals 15 is to 8. So 15 is to 8 is the answer. So this will be 15 is to 8. Okay. Part 2. It is given that 16% of A equals 20% of B. Then A is to B. We have to find A is to B. Now 16% of A is nothing but 16 by 100 of A. Now of operator means multiplication, so this is 16 by 100 into A, and 20% of B equals 20 by 100 of B. This is 20 by 100 into B. Now this implies it has been given that 16% of A equals to 20% of B. So we can say that 16 by 100 A equals 20 by 100 B. This implies that A by B equals 20 by 100 divided by 16 by 100. This is nothing but 20 by 16, and if you simplify the fraction 20 by 16 further, you get this is 5 by 4. So this implies A by B is equals to 5 by 4. This implies A is to B equals 5 is to 4. So A is to B will be 5 is to 4. Okay, let's do part 3. Part 3 is, it is given that A equals 1 by 3 B and B equals 1 by 2 C. Then we have to find A is to B is to C. Then A is to B is to C we have to find. Okay. Now A equals to 1 by 3 B implies that A by B equals 1 by 3. Also B is equals to 1/2 C. This implies B by C equals half. Now A by B equals to 1 by 3 implies that A is to B equals 1 is to 3, and B by C equals to half means B is to C equals 1 is to 2. So we have A is to B and we have B is to C, but we see that the B terms are not same. In the first term, the second term, that is the B term, is 3, and in the second ratio, that is B is to C, we have the first term B is 1. So we have to make them same, and the same will be the LCM of 1 and 3, which is 3. So we have to convert the ratio A is to B, which is 1 is to 3, so that the second term is 3. So this we have to this remains the same, A is to B equals 1 is to 3, but the ratio B is to C we have to convert it so that the first term becomes 3. So this is nothing but we will multiply both the terms in the ratio B is to C with 3, and this becomes 3 is to 6. So now we have A is to B equals to 1 is to 3 and B is to C equals 3 is to 6. This implies that A is to B is to C equals 1 is to 3 is to 6. So 1 is to 3 is to 6 is the answer. Okay, part 4. It says that if A is to B, is to B is given to be 5 is to 7 and B is to C is given as 6 is to 11, then it is asked to find A is to B is to C. It's asking to find A is to B is to C. Now, so we have A is to B equals is given to be 5 is to 7 and B is to C is given 6 is to 11. We see that 6 and 7, that is the B term in the first ratio and the B term in the second ratio are different. So we have to convert the two ratios such that the second term of the first ratio, that is B terms, both the B terms will be equal, and they should be equal to the LCM of 7 and 6, which is 42. So to make the ratios, the equivalent ratios, so that in the first ratio the second term becomes 42, we have to multiply both the terms with 6. This becomes 30 is to 42. And B is to C, to convert this ratio into an equivalent ratio so that the first term becomes 42, we have to multiply both the terms with 7. So this becomes 42 is to 77. So now we have A is to B equals to 30 is to 42 and B is to C equals to 42 is to 77. So this implies A is to B is to C equals 30 is to 42 is to 77. So the answer is 30 is to 42 is to 77. Okay, let's do section D. section D, we have question number 18 and we have 4 parts. These are true or false statement. We have to say whether the following statements are true or false. The first one says the mean proportional between 0.4 and 0.6 is 0.9 is 6. So it is saying that 0.4, 0.9, 0.4. It is saying that 0.6 is the mean proportional between 0.4 and 0.6, which means it is trying to say that 0.4, 0.6 and 0.9 are in a continued proportion. This means that 0.4 is to 0.6 is equal to 0.6 is to 0.9. Now this implies if we use the formula b square equals to ac, this should then it should have b square, that is 0.6 square equals 0.4 multiplied by 0.9. Now this implies 0.6 into 0.6 is 0.36 and the right hand side is also 0.36. So this is a true statement. Both the ratios are same. So this means that 0.4, 0.6 and 0.9 are in continued proportion. Okay. Let's do part 2. It is saying that the third proportional to 9 and 12 is 10.5. So it is saying that third proportional to 9 and 12 is 10.5. This means that 9 is to 12 is same as 12 is to 10.5. So this implies that ratio 9 is to 12. Now from this we can say that so this means that 9, 12 and 10.5 are in continued proportion. This implies that b square equals to 4ac, which means 12 square equals 9 into 10.5. This implies 144, 12 square is 144. 144 equals 10.5 into 9 is 45, 4 and 9. This is a false statement, as 144 is not equals to 94.5. 10.5 multiplied by 90 multiplied by 9 is 94.5. So 144 is not equals to 94.5. So which means that 9, 12 and 10.5 are not in continued proportion, which means that 10.5 is not a third proportional to 9 and 12. Okay. Let's do problem part 3. It says that if it is given that x is equal to 48 is to 18. If this is so, then it is saying that x equals to 3. Now if from this fact that 8 is to x equals to 48 is to 18, this implies that 8 by x equals 48 by 18, and from this if we do cross product we get 48 x equals 8 into 18. This implies x equals 8 into 18 divided by 48. Now so 8 divides 48 with 6 and 6 divides 18 with 3, so x equals 3, and so it is a correct statement. If this is so, if this if 8 is to x equals to 48 is to 18, we have found that x equals to 3, and that is exactly what the statement is saying. Okay, so part 4 is, it is given that 3a plus 5b is to 3a minus 5b is given to be equal to 5 is to 1. Then it is saying that a is to b, then it is saying that a is to b equals to 5 is to 2. We have to verify this. Okay, now from the given fact we know that this is, from the given fact we get 3a plus 5b divided by 3a minus 5b equals 5 is to 1. Now if we do cross product, and equate the products, we get that 1 into 3a plus 5b equals 5 into 3a minus 5b. Now this implies, if we do the products on the right hand side and open the brackets, we get 15a minus 25b. Now if we bring all the a terms on the left hand side and all the b terms to the right hand side, we get 3a minus 15a equals minus 25b minus 5b. Now if we simplify the terms on the right hand side and the left hand side, we get 3a minus 15a is minus 12a, and 25 minus 25b minus 5b is minus 30b. So this implies that a by b equals minus 30 by minus 12. This, if you divide by, if you simplify it further, this is 30 by 12, and this is how much, 3 4 and 3 10. So this is 5 by 2. Now 5 is to 2, so this implies a is to b equals 5 is to 2, which is what it is saying, it is given. So this is a true statement. Okay, I think this was the last question. Now back to the question which I could not solve regarding the time and work problem, related to time and work, which is this. So this was question number 9. Okay, so it says that 40 men finish a work in 60 days. 40 men finish a work in 60 days. And it is asking in how many days 75 men will finish the same work. Okay. So if 40 men finish a work in 60 days, then one man will finish the work in is it 16 to 40? One man will finish the work. We have to identify the ratio which will remain constant. Then only we can use the concept of proportion, because some ratio is same, has to be same. When it is saying that 40 men finish a work in 60 days, we have to identify what ratio, a ratio which will always be same, considering the fact that the efficiency of a single person is same. So 40 men finish a work in 60 days. So one man finish a work in 60 into 40 days. Okay, so one man finish a work in 60 into 40 days. This thing should be constant. This thing should be constant. That the work which this problem is referring to, that work is completed in 60 into 40 days by a single person. This is constant. So now, so we have one man and 60 into 40 days. So one man completes the job, a particular work, in 60 into 40 days. This we have found from the given fact that 40 men finish a work in 60 days. So definitely it will take more time, more days for a single man to finish the same work. I hope it will be right to say that one man will complete the same work in 60 into 40 days. Now, so we see that the one man finishes the work in 60 into 40 days. Now, if we assume that 75 men will do the same job in X days, which is what the problem has asked to find. It is asking in how many days the same work will be completed by 75 men. So we have assumed that, let's say, in X days 75 men will complete the same job. So one man to 60 into 40 days should be same as 75 men in X days. So we should have that 1:75. This ratio should be equal to 60 into 40, whatever this number is to X. Okay, so if this is so, then we know that 1/75, 1:75 is 1/75, should be, the two ratios should be equal. So 1:75 is equal to 60 into 40 is to X. So we have 1/75 equals to 60 into 40 by X. From here, no. So one man is completing the job in 60 into 40 days. So 75 men if we consider, if we have assumed that 75 men will complete the job in X days. This is wrong. No, this is wrong. We have assumed that the 75 men will complete the same job in X days. So this fact, so one man will complete the job in 60 into 40 days. That is fine, and we have assumed that 75 men will complete the job in X days. Now from this fact, this implies that one man will complete the job in 75 into X days. Now from the given fact that 40 men does the work in 60 days, we have found that one man completes the job in 16 to 40 days. So that fact remains the same, and when we have assumed that 75 men will complete the job in X days, from this fact it means that one man will complete the job in 75 into X days. So now we can say that 75x equals 60 into 40. This implies x equals 60 into 40 by 75. This is equals 2400 by 75. If you divide by 5, it is 15 and 480. If we again divide by 5, this is 3 and this is 96 and this is 23. Okay, so 23 days. 23 days. So 75 men will finish the same work in 23 days, which makes sense because more men will complete the job in less number of days. Now, the idea was to identify the ratio which remains the same. Now, that ratio probably I could not explain well enough, but the way I solve this problem is that it is given 40 men does the work in 60 days. From here, I got the result that one man will complete the same job in 60 into 40 days. Okay. Now, from the other fact, if we assume that 75 men will do the same work in X days, from that we get that one man will then do the same work in 75 into X days. So 75X has to be same as 60 into 40. From there we have found X. But I could not really make use of the concept of ratio and proportion properly in solving this problem. I will try again offline and see if I can solve this problem more meaningfully using the concept of ratio and proportion. Sorry, this even though the solution may be right, but I think the way I solved it is not really using the concept of ratio and proportion. I will try to solve it again offline and come up. If I can solve it properly, I will let you know in some later video. So this brings to the end of solving the test paper 8. These are good set of problems. You must do it to test your understanding on the concept of ratio and proportion, and possibly I will make, if not two, then one practice test paper that will cover all the concepts of ratio and proportion. It will possibly have 20 questions which you must complete in 1 hour, and the pattern of the questions will be MCQ and true and false, match the column and fill in the blanks. So please stay tuned for the test practice test paper 1. I will try, if possible, to make 2 test papers, but if not, then definitely I will make 1 test paper, that is practice test paper 1. It should be a good set of problems that I will refer from outside, from external source. So it will give you a good practice of your understanding on the concept of this chapter. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, if this video was beneficial to you, then please like it, share it with your friends, and also please do not support me by subscribing to my channel, and also do not forget to press the bell icon so that you will be notified by my future videos. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, take care and bye.